That second damage boost was intentional, though. Slurpee coming up to the flower clock of his own. Hopefully he goes the opposite side, just like last race, but this time at a different clock position. That one's actually one of the slowest to get because you have to walk all the way back to the left side of the room. That's not very fun. Right, Slurpee making... That was an interesting concrete. Somebody needs to clip that, please and thank you, and send it in chat. I will need to look at that again. Because he makes pretty quick work of Hornet, and Cab this time getting that left copter strat. Redeeming himself from last race. No swoops again. So I think that is 0 swoops from... Well, not I think. That is 0 swoops from either of our runners combined through this race. Hopefully, Boss Rush Galaxy can be a little bit nicer to our runners. Both runners converging in Jewelman. Slurpee has a little bit of a lead, as he is already off to the cheese ball mini boss, and Cab is starting. Those cannons, as you see on Cab's stream, if you miss, like, their hitbox is actually really, really whack. I'll say. If you don't shoot that concrete exactly, then the cannon just isn't turning into a concrete block. I think I saw Slurpee. He got third to the right for his cheese ball, which is still pretty good. That's still pretty close to the door. Cab getting the absolute worst one, all the way to the left, so he kills him, has to take about 2 or 3 seconds, and walk to the right, through the door again. Slurpee gets his 5 hit, then the 1 hit Galaxy, and now he is, I assume, off to Splash Ruin. Unless he wants to be nice to me and switch to Plug for a second. Cab having some trouble with that spike swing. That's especially scary if you miss it too. Like, you can do the safer swing, but if you miss the safer one, then you're scared. But he got it pretty clean despite the problems, and now he's on to Jewelman. Thank you for the clip, Hydro Bears. I will look at that after the race. And Cab finishing off Jewelman pretty clean, and Slurpee is already big time into Splash Ruin without me noticing. And their paths diverge again as Cab's headed for Plug. Slurpee getting the spike skip, I'll call it. I'm not sure if there's an official, it's either bubble skip or spike skip. Looks like Cab got his cycle, so both runners pretty clean through their respective stages. I have to... It's always commentator's curse. I say something, the opposite happens. I apologize, Slurpee, as he falls down. Right as I say, he's going clean. See if Cab does not go for the free tank. He is pulling out his stops in his efforts. Or he just didn't get it last time either, and I didn't notice. Slurpee getting a really good splash fight. As you saw, she didn't even make it to the top. See if Cab can get it again. The double BMJ from Cab. Very nice, and we'll see if he can redeem himself on his Plug fight. Very clean Plug fight from Cab. As Slurpee is headed into Plugman for his own efforts. We'll see if he can get... I think he misses the shot, so he has to take a second to kill that... I don't know his name. Yeah, I blanked on that enemy's name, but it looks like he's going Buster only. I'm not sure if he usually does this or... Because it looks like he got a good cycle. It's just, I guess he usually goes for Buster only, which I don't think loses any time. It's just preference if you want to jet. But if you don't jet through that area, you can jet through this entire area from the top of that screen. And your cycle's perfect. Cab not opting for the about 1 or 2 second magnet platforms. Very nice screen there from Slurpee. And you'll see him, he just takes the hit and still mashes her down. Just out of, I'm not sure if it was out of frustration or just he's spiteful against that hopper. Very clean fight from Slurpee as well. So they will both sort of converge while Cab's finishing up Tornado. So you'll see Slurpee start Tornado. Alright, we'll see if Tornado Man wants to be a nice Tornado Man. And he does not. He goes up twice. And then for his troubles, he stays on the ground for him after already jumping twice. Slurpee going for the magnet platform jumps again. As Cab gets his tornado blow and will head off to Splash Moment. So, I don't think I explained the Slurpee jet strats in that room. Instead of black holing or jetting a little bit earlier, he gets up in that first Sniper Joe's face and just jets right over him. And then he jets over the second one. You can also opt to back damage boost off of that Met and then just jump right through the second Sniper Joe. But it's faster to jet. Cab on the bubbles. Let's see if he goes for the big one or the 3-second losing small one. Looks like he's just going safe here. It's only 3 seconds. But I guess only 3 seconds means a lot when you're racing somebody of Slurpee's caliber, but I understand his motives. What? If you saw him take a hit, he missed the initial jet, took a hit by accident, but then calculated it, so he landed on top of the jet, so he was on there anyway. So please, somebody clip that as well. So Cab, the Hornet's just not going for Splash Woman once those little fish come out, and Slurpee's onto Wily 1, opting to Buster his way through it. And both runners through 8 robots now, as Slurpee's a little bit into Wily 1 and Cab's right behind him. Into his Wily 1. But first, we must look at Dr. Wily very angrily wiggle his eyebrows. Slurpee getting the jet strat to perfection once again. I am never not amazed whenever I see Slurpee pull that off. Or I guess anybody, it doesn't have to be Slurpee. If you can do it, I'll be impressed. Cab opting for the very much safer Jewel strat. It looks a lot cooler anyway, because you're just running through all the enemies with Jewel Satellite around you. And Slurpee onto the spike pushers, and Cab coming up on the dragon. So once again, we see Slurpee, he'll take out 7 of these Buster, and then on the 8th one, 8th or 9th, I'm not sure the exact count, we'll see him use Plug Ball, and every time he destroys one, he shoots one to the left, and then that top one will very slowly get destroyed, and then that second middle, that top middle, I'll call it, just is the last one to get finished. It looks like Cab, I'm a little late to saying this, but he got his jet strat and did not take a death against the magma beam, so redeeming Wily 1 for Cab. So far, he still needs to get through spike pushers, but they're not all dare I say, they're not that difficult. Looks like Slurpee bonked his head a bit, but he didn't fall back down. So a little bit of a different strat from Cab. I think he busters all the way through, but then he does the two middle pushers, and then once they start shooting their laser beams, he then takes down the bottom ones. I did not see what kind of flower Slurpee got. I apologize. I'm looking at Cab's spike pusher fight, which looks like it was much better than last time. So both runners now soon to be in Wily 2. Cab getting his jet boost and on his way through to the probably the most difficult stage to get through, optimized at least. Looks like Slurpee fell down. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not, but he fell down. I doubt it's intentional. Opting to mash down that hopper. I think he did that last time too, I just didn't notice it. Cab having some trouble with his concrete, but makes it through, tiptoeing his way to the spike jump. And he gets flowered pretty good. As Slurpee finishes off phase 1, now on to phase 2. Very clean phase 2. We'll see how his phase 3, if he can get another 5. I believe it's actually random how... I'm not sure if the first one is random. It looks like he opens pretty quickly on the first one all the time. But he gets a pretty good, pretty quick third phase as well, so that's really clean. Mega Mech Shark fight also. And Cab tiptoeing his way through those spike jumps. I don't blame him, those are pretty scary. Alright, Slurpee, let's see if... Oh, he bonks his head, and you can see what happens if you are falling on your way down when hitting that gravity well. Nice dodge from Cab, and he opts to take the damage boost off the projectile instead of mashing down the hopper. Slurpee somewhat has his dancing shoes on. That's small spike jump that Slurpee just went through. That's pretty scary. I think Cab will see him take a damage boost off that top jewel enemy. Good 5 hit from Cab, but a quicker opening up from the shark, so that's a pretty good fight. Nice Slurpee. We will see him take the copter into the M-tank, and then as soon as he hits the ladder, he's going to use his M-tank. Because as you noticed, on that left side, he did not use any weapons. So he only had to fill out those right side weapons, which is, I don't know how much faster it is than waiting till you get into Wily 4 and beat Galaxy Man. Look like Cab's ready to dance again. here in Wily 3. Let's see if Slurpee can continue the 1 cycle streak. Cab proving me wrong once again, not taking the damage boost. Slurpee getting the 1 cycle. Oh, Cab opting to mash down that second Sniper Joe. Thinks he's, I assume it's because he thinks he's taken too much damage already. Let's see if Slurpee can get his Galaxy Manip this time. Our Cab going through with Trident like usual. See, Slurpee did not get it. I don't think he even waited, so he might have messed up the movement earlier in the stage. Looks like he didn't get any swoops though, so unlucky on his part. So Cab had enough Trident, so this time he's keeping his M-Tank for after Galaxy. As Slurpee makes his way through the boss rush. Let's see if Cab can get his 1 cycle. It might have been a little bit late of a pause. That second pause was a little iffy as well. Yeah. It happens. If you pause that, if you pause a little late on that first one, it's over. We'll see if, as Cab finishes off Twin Devil, we'll see if Tornado Man not being so nice to Slurpee in the refight. Thinks he's had enough fun beating him. Alright, Cab just starting his Wily 4 venture. As Slurpee has 2 more Robot Masters in the refights. Cab looks like he's not opting for the Manip, but maybe we'll see him get lucky and get a 2 swoop anyway. So it looks like he doesn't have enough concrete to finish off Galaxy with that much, but he'll need M-Tank in the middle of the fight as Slurpee is on his way to the Wily Dinosaur. No swoops from Cab for Cab, so that's 0 swoops this race. As we see him using his mid-fight M-Tank. Slurpee missing a double on the second phase, so he's gonna have to opt for Magma. But that's fine because he can shoot one. Oh, he missed it, but he would. If Wily was to take 1 extra damage, then he wouldn't have to pull out Hornet or Magma again and do that extra piece of damage to him. Looks like Cab's having a bit of trouble with Plug, but he got through it. Looks like Cab or Slurpee finishes off with a time of 32:42 according to SRL. So that makes Slurpee our winner for today. Well, let's see if Cab can have a strong finish, despite having lost already, I guess I'll say. Alright, so on to Jewel. So I believe that means 3 more left for Cab. Trying for the 5-hit manip, but doesn't work. But he gets a decent 4-hit to back it up on that second black hole bomb. So Cab has a pretty clean splash fight and is on to concrete now. Makes quick work of concrete and is now on to the wily dinosaur. Yes, the first 2 phases are. Cab opting for a little bit slower on those first 2 eggs, but speeding up the process a bit. Alright, clean first phase from Cab. Alright. Pretty good second phase. Unfortunately, he went up on that second part. Let's see if he can get his 1 shot. He gets it, so he doesn't need that extra hornet at the end. Wily being a little bit nicer. And that is it. So Cab finishing with an SRL time of 35:40. Or 35:38 as it says on his timer. So we'll see if we can get either of these 2 in for interviews. Hello, Mr. Cab. GG's on. So unfortunately, not a win, but Slurpee.
Yeah,
what can you really expect?
Pretty much. Slurpee is scarily good at this game, so I don't want to be the guy who says let's get it over with, but it was like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, 2 strong races from Slurpee. He had a low 32 in that first one, a little bit higher 32 in the second one.
We'll just say he was sweating it because I didn't take any deaths in the second race, I think. Yeah, I mean, the first race was just a little depressing because I missed a couple of easy things. Then it was kind of like, I know it's Slurpee, and I'm just thinking, I want to get to my next 34 attempt the whole time. But I know it's a tournament race, so it's like, yeah, I have to keep pushing as long as I'm still in it. Second one, things went better. If I got Easy Devil, I would have basically been at my PB range in the high 35 teens. So, yeah, it could have been a better second race, but that's honestly roughly as good as it's better than I think my PB coming into the tournament, so there is that.
Yeah, you had about higher 35, 36, so that was pretty good. How much improvement you've...
You know, I forget if it was I think it was the 3544 club, and 3 of us were in there, and
Oh yeah, that's
now
true.
I'm down here at 3511.
That first race, I'm not sure how much you would like to talk about it, but
Yeah, it happened.
yeah, you're
And certainly, like, I know to get like, if I'm going to get my 34, I'm not getting that E-Tank and Plugman stage anymore. And sometimes Wiley will hate you when that happens. I'm honestly
Yeah.
surprised I survived the second fight.
Yeah, that was a good buster only on the second fight.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was a good evening. And now I can move on to other speed games for a while.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
I need to find Slurpee and HJA and everybody else at I'm gonna say at SGDQ. We all know there's a virus problem going around, but I'm gonna say at SGDQ, and maybe we'll work out that Wiley machine, and then I'll end up with like a 3430 out of it.
Yeah.
But now that I
hopefully.
see Slurpee doing that, I do have to remember to say I was 2 for 2 on Plugman Big Mama Jump in this race, in this match.
Yeah, those were pretty exciting. So I guess I want to talk about that splash backup in the second race.
Oh my god, that happened. I mean,
I was just as surprised as anyone else.
I think the strat, as I've seen HJA do it, is to get the timing right, you just jump 3 times against the wall. On the third jump, you will land on the platform, and then you just kind of summon rush and jump when it looks like you have to jump over the projectile. And I just didn't land on rush, so I was like, oh, okay, I'm still here, so let's go. And well, that happened. Rush was there for me after all. I hope somebody clipped that, because that was funny.
I asked them too. I'm not sure if the one was posted in chat, but I can go back and clip it if it wasn't.
Put that in the tournament highlights for later.
Right. Don't think Slurpee wanted an interview, but that's fine if he doesn't.
Yeah, that's fine. Slurpee played Slurpee's game, and anybody who's like seen Slurpee play Mega Man 9 or Proto Man 9, or I think he played Base Man 10 once upon a time too. You knew what I was in for, so keep your eye on Slurpee, and I don't know who I want to win the next race, because it's both people who won races against me at the tournaments, but we'll go with Slurpee.
Yeah, I'm just checking. There's no more races scheduled so far. The winner of BDFM and Polytopes will be the one facing Slurpee in the semifinals.
Maybe I'll just have to cheer for Polly.
Going against fellow group, I think Group C member.
I think we were
BDFM.
Group D. Like, I know things got turned around at one point, so either way.
All right. I don't think I have much more to add other than plugging other speed gaming events. If you want to add anything else, then this is your time.
That's it. That's all I've got. Stay safe, everyone.
All right. So that is it from me and Mr. Cab. I believe Speed Gaming 1 has a Final Fantasy 1 randomizer going on. So go check that out if you're a big Speed Gaming fan. And thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting this tournament, HJ for organizing the entire thing. And I think that's it. So, good night, everybody, and please be safe.